my little pop punk heart. I just realized that most of this list is filled with pop punk, but hello you guys, it's Ali, and yes, it has been a hot second since I filmed something, and I probably used that exact intro the last time that I made a video, but it's almost the end of the year, and I've seen a lot of these kind of videos going around, and so I really wanted to do it. So I'm going to talk about some of my favorite albums of 2016. Before I get started, I just want to say that this is my personal preferences, I guess you could say. If y'all have been following me for a while, then you already know what kind of music that I'm already into. But that doesn't mean that I'm just limited to like certain types of music. Like, I listen to so much different kinds of music that it's actually ridiculous. But these are just some of the albums that I picked out that I really enjoyed this year and that I've come back to and listened to a bunch of times. So yeah, I hope you guys like it. Now, these albums are in no particular order. I'm just gonna go from how I have them listed. So the first album that I'm going to talk about is Double Dare by the band Waterparks. And I've talked about Waterparks in the past. I think I talked about them in my last video, but they released like their first like full-length album called Double Dare, and oh my gosh, guys, let me tell you, it is so good. Like, just first off, the progress that they made with like their vocals and their instrumentation and just lyrics and just stuff like that, it's so good. And like, oh my gosh, so many of the songs are so catchy that it's like, oh my god, like you will literally find yourself like singing them. Like Stupid for You, super catchy. Royal, Hawaii, they're all like so catchy. And then just if when you, I'm getting so like, I love this band so much. It's like, they're so like talented, and they're gonna go really far. Like, I can just predict that they're going to go really far. I predicted that from the first time I saw them. But with this album, it just shows that how good they are. Like, they mixed like pop punk with like electronic, but like the mashup works so well, and it's just, oh my god, it's so good. And then they can slow it down with songs like 21 Questions is a fan favorite because it's so good. And Powerless is really good. Favorite song on that album would probably have to be 21 Questions. And a song that I suggest you guys listen to besides 21 Questions is probably Gloom Boys, because that's another fan favorite, and it's also just so good. The next album that I'm going to be talking about is Better Weather by With Confidence. And I recently just got into With Confidence actually earlier this year. They were at Warped Tour, and unfortunately I did not get to watch them at Warped Tour, but I watched a few of their music videos and I listened to them before Warped Tour, and I was like, oh my god, these guys are like amazing. So I checked out their album and guys, it's so good. Like, oh, it's just so like I can dance to it, and then there's some songs that just make you want to like cry, but like in a good way, you know. There's some really like upbeat, like fun songs like We'll Be Okay, or let's see, or Voldemort is a really good one, or Higher is also a really good one. But then there's like the slow ones like Long Night and Dinner Bell. They're kind of like, they're not weird like in a bad way, but they're like different, but I really like that about them. Like, I really like how they did it. So yeah. Favorite song off that album would probably have to be We'll Be Okay or Godzilla, I think. So I suggest listening to those two. So the next album that I'm going to be talking about is, can you guys guess? California by Blink-182. Yes, this was long awaited. I don't know if y'all know, I'm like a newer fan of Blink, I guess you could say. Like, I was like a casual fan in the past, but then like I started to get more and more into them, and then when this album dropped, I was like, holy shit. So yeah, a lot of people were mad with Tom leaving, but I'm kind of like, you know what, like whatever. Like, they're growing as a band. Not everyone is going to have the same opinions, goals, maybe musical style that they want to do, and that's okay. But the fact that they're still wanting to do music and continue along with this, I think that's great. And this album just goes to show like how good they can be, and they don't need all of their original members. Like Matt Skiba, I think, was an amazing addition to Blink-182, which makes me really happy. California starts out with the song Cynical with the opening line of the entire album. Like, it just sets it off from there, which I think is really cool. And then, like, the rest of the song Cynical is obviously really good. And then as the album goes on, it just gets, it's just so good. Mark Hoppus is still there, and his voice, obviously always really good, mixed with Matt Skiba's, is just amazing. I just think some of the tracks on here is just, it brings back the fun of Blink that people, I think, really liked, with songs like Built This Pool. Favorite song on California would probably have to be, I really like She's Out of Her Mind. That's a single that plays on the radio actually a lot, so that one's really fun. Or I really like Kings of the Weekend. That one's really fun too, so I suggest listening to those two. The last album that I'm going to be talking about is Headspace by Issues, and I love Issues. Like, they're so good. First off, they are amazing live and amazing in recordings, obviously. Tyler Carter's voice is just so beautiful, like, oh my god. And then obviously Andrew's screams are really good as well. I actually watched like a little story on how like the band was created, like a story that Andrew told. I think it was an AP Press interview or something like that. I don't know, but like it made me respect the band more as a band and as artists and stuff like that. So that's really good. The leading single, I think, was The Realist, and that one, like, it's kind of just made you want to just be like, it's like that. I don't know, it's hard to explain. But so that one automatically caught my attention. I was like, you know, like, I can get down to this. The song Blue Wall, which is about police brutality, the way that the song's written and the way that, like, they have, like, the sound effects and the music, and it's so good. And so that's another thing that made me really, like, get pumped up for this album. And then finally the album was released, and I was listening to it, and I was like, oh my god, like, this is, like, so good. Like, obviously Tyler and Andrew's vocals were really, really good, along with this, like, the instrumentation, and then just, like, the lyrics that they've written and, like, the songs they have are just, like, so good. One of their slower ones is Someone Who Does. That one is one that I relate to, so that one's, like, a really, like, personal one for me, I guess you could say. Then they also have songs like Flojo, which is kind of like a funky kind of one that makes you kind of want to, like, move your shoulders and shit like that. They played that one at Warped Tour, and, like, that one gets everyone to, like dancing and stuff like that. And then there's ones like Young and Dumb, which throws in kind of like a little country kind of vibe to it, which I think is really cool, because, I mean, I'm not a big fan of country music, but it just goes to show that they're not afraid to experiment with their sound, and they're not afraid to do whatever the hell they want, basically. Favorite song on there is probably Someone Who Does or Flojo. So that is it, guys, and I hope you enjoyed watching. I'm sorry that I have been MIA for so long. To be honest, I just haven't gotten around to sitting down and making a video, and I've just been, like, not having creative ideas, you know. So I don't know when I'm going to make another video. Who knows? But until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye!